Thank you. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Faye, for the introduction. I welcome everyone to another session of our Tuesday Tech Security webinar. If you has already done justice to the topic today, so the topic we are going to be taking today is our introduction to Sophos Mobile Security. Okay, for an introduction, my name is Abudu Ahmed Opeyemi. I'm a network and security engineer for Ha-Shem here. And then I'm a tech enthusiast with certification in Cisco and then Sophos. I have other certifications also. And also for my hobby, I like arts, I like nature, and then I like cooking. So our basic agenda for today, what we are going to be talking about today. So firstly, we will look at introduction to Sophos Mobile Security as a product. Then we go to the features of the product, where we are going to look at the different features that Sophos Mobile Security portfolio offers us. Then we are going to be taking the benefits of choosing the product, and then we take the demo session, which is one of the lovely sessions that I like. And then your questions, if you have any questions, then we go to the question session. So that is how the agenda for today is going to look like. So kindly follow me as we go through this session. What is Sophos Mobile? So firstly, let's start as looking at what Sophos Mobile is. Sophos Mobile actually provides administrator with the tool to manage and then also secure corporate owned and then personal Windows 10 devices, macOS, mobile endpoints, all in just one centralized system. So you have the ability to be able to manage protected devices using policies that can be configured. These policies will actually determine how the device can be accessed, what settings can be changed, and how the device is used. So you can install and also remove applications remotely with Sophos Mobile, as well as also allow specific applications to be downloaded from the App Store. So this also includes management and configuration of your Office 365 app. So what Sophos Mobile also gives you, Sophos Mobile allows you to create like a secure container for devices, which allows you access to only business sensitive emails and documents inside a secured container on a device. So container can be managed, which allows for users to use their personal device to also access business data. So also with the inclusion of compliance rules and remediation, Sophos Mobile also provides web protection policies and also allows customized web filtering policies so that you can be sure that your user are actually staying safe in your organization. So that's what Sophos Mobile, those are some of the things that Sophos Mobile as a product gives you. So for the enrollment, Sophos Mobile actually makes use of inbuilt security of the mobile device operating system. For Android devices, you can choose between either Android Enterprise or Device Administrator, which is a legacy feature management mode. So new customers should use the Android Enterprise Management mode, whereas the device admin should always be used by existing customers. And ideally, if you are using this mode, you should be actually looking to move away from this mode. So to use the built-in mobile device management protocol of iPhones, iPad, Mac, Sophos Mobile must use the Apple push notification services, that is the APN, to actually trigger the exact Apple device that you are actually looking to onboard on Sophos Mobile. So a device is also enrolled on Sophos Mobile either by the administrator or the device user. So to manage the device, the Sophos Mobile will actually request for the management of the device through the device cloud service. So the device user will install the Sophos Mobile Control app and also confirm the management of the device by Sophos Mobile. The device will then return its data to Sophos Mobile, and Sophos Mobile is then able to enforce security and also compliance policy to the device remotely. Should the device be non-compliant in any ways with this policy, the administrator can configure non-compliance rules that can remotely disable access to the corporate network or lock the device. This ensures that you have added security for the device managed by Sophos Mobile, as it can be remotely locked or wiped, or you can remove any confidential or sensitive data in the event that the device is being lost, or it is being stolen, or it doesn't meet any compliance rules that you set as an administrator in your organization. So we also have a self-service portal for users. So the aim of the self-service portal on Sophos Mobile is to reduce the administrative burden on managing all the mobile devices. So Sophos Mobile includes this self-service portal, which allows user to both register and also manage their devices. So the self-service portal allows user to register their own device. They can actually launch a deployment wizard to actually guide them through the process where they can actually onboard their device by themselves. This can be done from a computer or any device that is being registered. So once a device is registered and the user can view the compliance state of the device and manage it using the drop-down menu on the dashboard. So the administrator can also configure options which are available to users. However, options will typically include maybe to wipe, lock the device, or locate the device. So users can also view tasks that are actually running or pending on their device using the self-service portal. So the management mode of Sophos Mobile. Sophos Mobile actually supports three management modes. So the first one, which is the device management, which is available for iOS, macOS, Android, iPad. So we have this mode here. So the other mode that we have is Sophos container mode. The Sophos container mode is also available likewise for iOS devices, iPad, and Android, and then it consists of the combination of Sophos Secure Email and then Sophos Secure Workspace. So we also have the Android container management also. So Sophos container enrollment is actually useful in bring your own device scenario, that is BYOD scenario. With Sophos container enrollment, the organization can only see very limited information, so no personal applications or data. So not everyone has the option to use corporate owned device, and then you may need to enable people to start using their personal devices for work. So Sophos Mobile lets you to secure any combination of both personal and then corporate owned devices with minimum effort. So that's what Sophos Mobile gives you. So in those bring your own device scenario, you need to protect your users and also control business email and data without intruding on your user privacy. So the container only management capability in Sophos Mobile lets you actually control corporate content in the Sophos secure email and then the Sophos secure workspace application without requiring management of the mobile device itself. So in this way, your users' personal information remains private to them, while company resources are protected appropriately. So when a device is in container only managed mode, Sophos secure email and then Sophos secure workspace will actually be installed on the device as part of the container. So as well as the Sophos mobile control app. So that those are what we have for the management mode. So the other management mode is Android Enterprise. So Android Enterprise gives you three modes. We have the work profile mode, the work to manage mode, and the corporate owned and single use. So the Android Enterprise allows you to apply profiles to your Android devices depending on your requirements. So there are mandatory features that must be actually included in any integration. So some of the features that must be included in this integration includes enterprise provisioning, your device security, your device management, device usability. So Android Enterprise offers you this feature which you must integrate when you're about to onboard your users. So for the work profile mode, it's actually intended for bring your own device, which allows the administrator to manage a self-contained work profile on the user's personal device. So corporate applications, data, and management policies are restricted to the work profile only on that phone. So keeping them secure and separate from the personal data while maintaining the user's privacy. So for the work and work managed device, is actually that is designed for corporate own devices that are used exclusively for work. So those that's just the one for that. And then for the corporate owned single use, they are actually designed for corporate owned devices that actually fulfill just a single case of use where you have to just use them once. That's just the only the use for the mode in Android device. So we also have the Samsung Knox mode. Sophos Mobile actually supports the management of Samsung Knox container. So Samsung Knox container is just a containerization technology which is used to separate corporate and personal data and application. So on Android phones. So to manage Knox, you need a license, and this license needs to be entered into the Sophos Mobile admin console. So to use Samsung Knox, the device must actually support Samsung virtualization technology at the hardware level. That means that the phone must actually support the Knox virtualization technology, which is almost popular to only Samsung devices. So Sophos Mobile can manage Samsung Knox version 2 and above, and also supports management of one container. That's only one container per device. So in addition to the container only management and Samsung Knox container, Sophos Mobile provides several other features to help your company actually protect their data. So Sophos Mobile manage data sharing between unmanaged and managed application to prevent corporate and personal application from sharing data between each other. So the corporate data is only shared between the managed app, which you are managing using Sophos Mobile Control on iOS 11 and then later. So they also have a selective wipe, which actually means that you can remove corporate data and then leave personal data on the device. This can also be achieved on device on which Sophos manage and at the Android container level. That's the Samsung Knox or the Android Enterprise Profile only. So Android Enterprise also allows you to set like a work profile password policy, which will require the user to enter a password before you can open any application in their work profile that has been created on the phone. So on iOS, managed application can be forced to use also a VPN connection to connect to your corporate network while using other apps which will just continue to just connect directly to the internet. So you have all these features. So Sophos Mobile also includes Intercept X for mobile, which leverage the Intercept X deep learning engine to protect your users, their data, and then the corporate data from known and never before seen mobile threats. So Intercept X for mobile also gives your user easy to use security tools just at their fingertips. So a such feature, we have the authenticator, we have the secure QR code scanner, and then we also have the password safe. Intercept X for mobile, it actually also helps you to keep your user safe on the web and stop risky file type being downloaded, and it also block access to inappropriate websites so that your user can also maintain their productivity, and then you as an administrator of the company can maintain compliance in the company. So those are all what Intercept X for mobile gives you. You also have some of the features which are malware protection. Uh, as seen on the screen there, the privacy advisor, the Wi-Fi security, and also you have all these features for use with Intercept X for mobile. With Sophos Mobile Security also, you have a Sophos Secure Email, which is a secure and then a containerized email application for both Android and iOS. So it lets you isolate your business emails, your calendars, contact from private data on your mobile phone when managed by the Sophos Mobile. So all your company information, that's your email and everything, are actually encrypted, which actually prevents third-party application from accessing it. And then also access can also be easily revoked based on the device compliance rule that has been set from Sophos Mobile Control. So Sophos Secure Email also lets your IT provision business email securely and then consistently across different device and then OS variation in all your mobile phones in your company. So we have the Sophos Secure Workspace also, which comes with the Sophos Mobile Control. The Secure SSW, which is Sophos Secure Workspace, is also a containerized mobile content management application for iOS and then Android. So it provides like a secure way to protect, manage, and also distribute if you have maybe business documents and then web content. So this is what Sophos SSW gives you. That's Sophos Secure Workspace. So you can edit your office documents without actually leaving the container environment to ensure that it is encrypted and then remains secure. So this secure container also gives you the anti-phishing technology, which protects users from malicious link. If there's a malicious link in the documents that they are about working on, so it gives you the ability to be able to protect against such malicious link in the document. So when actually managed by Sophos Mobile, admin can easily restrict access to content that users are using based on device compliance rule. So within the secure workspace app, there's also like a secure browser which allows your user to access websites using bookmarks that only defined by your administrator. So this bookmark are defined by your administrator. You can only use this bookmark. This bookmark can include maybe hosted business application bookmark or something, or internal resource bookmark. So this allows management of also user rights and then user access to corporate sites and prevents data from being leaked outside the secure Sophos Secure Workspace application. So you can also, using Sophos Mobile, you can enforce consistent security policies on mobile device by remotely configuring them and setting compliance rules for your device to meet. So Sophos Mobile uses a policy to configure mobile devices. So this can be grouped with other actions such as maybe installing application in an like an other set of actual tax bundle. So policies are available for each device and will vary. However, there are a number of settings that are supported by all mobile operating systems, such as password, Wi-Fi, root certificates. So these are all what are supported. So to also enforce the configuration on the device, compliance rule can be configured with actions that are associated with each rule that will be performed when this compliance rule that has been set is violated. So Sophos Mobile allows administrator to perform an inventory of application on devices, and also you can manage the installation of new applications using Sophos Mobile. So applications can be installed to device either by uploading an application to the Sophos Mobile server and deploying it directly from there, or by linking the application in the App Store for that device. So linking application already in the App Store is the recommended for deploying and managing apps. So in addition to the public App Store application, if you have private internal applications can be published and also installed to the device, can also be installed to the device. So if you have private internal applications, they can also be installed and pushed to the device. So you have the Apple volume purchasing program, that's the VPP, that allows you to buy iOS and then macOS licenses. You can then maybe distribute this app in your environment. So those are the things that you can actually control, the applications rather that you can actually control using Sophos Mobile. So here we have the compliance rules. So for compliance policy in Sophos Mobile, it helps to ensure that mobile devices are used appropriately, but both from a security and then also a business policy perspective. So for example, you can ensure that only reputable applications are downloaded from the relevant application stores. You can block maybe side loading or of a potential dangerous app. You can also maybe restrict access to business resources. You can define actions that are executed when a compliance rule is violated. You can create separate compliance policies and then assign them to different device groups. So that will allow you to apply like appropriate level of security and access for your users and devices. For devices that do not comply with the compliance policy that is applied from Sophos Mobile, the administrator can configure a number of automated tasks for each of the policies. So automated action can consist of maybe you can say deny them access to email until maybe the device is compliant. You can say if the device is not compliant, you want to lock the container. That's the container on the device. This is only available though in the Sophos container or Samsung Knox mode. So you can also maybe deny access to the company network if the device is not compliant. So alternatively, you can just, as an administrator, you can just choose to send a notification to transfer a tax bundle to the device to perform an application, like maybe remotely on installing an application or a policy. So in addition to the automated tax, compliance violation are also reported on the device in Sophos Mobile clients and also in the self-service portal. So in the Sophos Mobile console, and then the administrator can also filter device based on their compliance status and then download their compliance report for use. The other thing Sophos Mobile Security gives you is synchronized security. So Sophos Synchronized Security creates um, in new ways to connect security products together so that they can respond to risk against the organization. So Sophos Synchronized Security actually automates detection, isolation, and remediation. So this allows attack to be neutralized in seconds. So there's a secure synchronized communication between your product when you use Sophos mobile portfolio. So this communication is powered by a secure heartbeat. So the secure heartbeat creates a secure two-way channel that is actually guided by Sophos Central. So you have this heartbeat that actually gives you synchronization between all your products. So you can leverage synchronized security if you have maybe two or more Sophos products on your Sophos Central. So to enable synchronized security, you just need maybe two or more Sophos products that can work together, and then at least one of the products must be managed through Sophos Central Management Platform. So you don't need any additional subscription or anything to enable synchronized security from Sophos. So as demonstrated here is a synchronized security in place. You see when the Sophos when the mobile device becomes non-compliant, its heartbeat status is communicated to Sophos Wi-Fi. So when this heartbeat is communicated to Sophos Wi-Fi, that is Sophos Wireless, uh, this Sophos Wireless changes the status of the device to at risk. So there's this at risk status that is attached to the device. So due to the applied compliance policy for Sophos Mobile, a non-compliant device will have its network access revoked. That means that it will not be able to use the internet. So therefore, when the user attempts to access the internet uh, using the wireless network, that means that the user that has the non-compliant device tries to access the internet, they will see like this splash screen that actually advises them that internet access is blocked. In this way, you as an administrator can actually ensure that the device are secured and the business data is actually protected. So we move to the demo session now. So I'm going to unshare my screen and then present the demo screen where we are going to talk about and look at the configuration of some of these policies and then applications that we've been talking about. So we'll see how we can configure them on Sophos Central Management Platform. Okay, is my screen visible now, please? Can anyone see my screen? Okay. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Sheldon. So at a glance, this is what the dashboard looks like for Sophos Central. So you have the compliance status of all devices. So you have two devices there which has been added. One is compliant and the other is not compliant. You have the managed status, you have the compliance violation security, you have the self-service portal, you have your Android versions on that's being managed by Sophos Central. So yeah, this is the dashboard here. So we have the report here. If you as an administrator needs to generate a report, maybe you want to generate a report and send to your boss, or you need to know the compliance status, which devices are not compliant. You need like a report that for your boss or report as an administrator, so you can get any of those reports on Sophos Central management platform. So these are all the reports that you have. You can have your device inventory. You can take note of all the devices to give you like a report of all the device in your Sophos Mobile, Sophos Central Management Platform. So device added in the last 7 days, you have that. So for the compliance, you have your compliance violations. This will give you this the violations of compliance on your network. So you have all this report for you to generate. So once we come to your device, this is where you find the list of all your device in your company that is being managed by Sophos Mobile Security. So you have them list, you have the name, the model, the operating system, the managed mode, whether it's Sophos Container Managed or your Android Profile Enterprise Work Policy Managed. So if you have another tab here which says is the device managed or not, you have the compliance status, we have the owner, is it a personal or a corporate owned phone. We have the group where your data, your device belongs to when it is created and the last time it was active. So for the device group, you have device group here. On each device group, you can attach a compliance policy to each device group. This device group here, for example, this device group, this Samsung device here, you can see that it is attached to a default group, while this Nokia here is attached to a finance department. That's a finance department owner owns this device. So on this device group here, you can now say you want to set policies, compliance policies. So there are different compliance policies. We'll look at that later during the course of this session. So you have people here. For the people, you can create users and then map these users to your mobile device, or you can maybe synchronize from Active Directory, or maybe bulk upload them through a CSV file. So these users are now going to be assigned to each of your device there. That means that once you onboard a device here, you can assign a user directly to the device. That means that you be able to have a visibility and accountability of each device, each mobile device in your network. Next, we have the policies where you can create policies and then assign each policies to user and then mobile device. So these are some of the policies you have here. So you have your tax bundle here. So your tax bundle are just used for enrollment. You can either use them when you are trying to onboard the device. Instead of after onboarding the device and then you start to have pushing each of these policies one after the other, you can create like a tax bundle that bundles all the whole maybe post enrollment tax. Maybe after you deploy or you try to manage a mobile device, you want to install an application to it, you want to assign a policy to it, you want to do different things on the mobile device at the same time, you can use a tax bundle to immediately do that after you enroll the device. So these are tax bundle here. So you have the applications here. Here you can manage the applications that you want to push to your users in the organization. So the applications are actually, maybe you can say, because I've already enrolled this in the Google Play Store. So you have the option to do the setup and enroll it in the iOS or for Google Android devices. So these are the list of applications that you can actually push to your mobile users in your organization. So here we have the documents here. These are secure documents in this Sophos Secure Workspace. So after downloading the Sophos Mobile Control and then the Sophos Secure Workspace, you have your documents that can be automatically pushed to your users. So your users will be able to see these documents in a secure container, and this document is going to be encrypted. That means that the personal applications will not have access to your company's documents, and then the users also will not be able to take like a screenshot in the container. So it will keep all the documents that you want to send to your users. It will keep them secure, and then users will not be able to exfiltrate any data from your company's documents. So you have your compliance policies. Yeah. So your compliance policy are policies that are going to be pushed to your device, which your device must be compliant with. These are the compliance policies. So you have your app group. So this is majorly creating an app group there. So let's just start with adding a device. I'm going to just take us through how to add a device. If you want to maybe add a device, you can just click the add here. So you can just use the add device wizard. So the first option you see is user. If you have a user in your database, that means maybe you have created user or you've imported users from your Active Directory. You can either choose to search for this user here so that you can attach them to this deployment. But for the sake of this demo, we'll just keep user assignment. So once we skip user assignment, it's going to take us to the device details page. So on the device details page, you have your option, is it an Android device? You can put it, leave it as an Android device. You have to specify the name of the device. Maybe this is this might be a techno device. You can say a techno device. Then you have the option to put a description there. You have the option to put your phone number, then your email, which is also compulsory. You can put an email there. Let's say test at gmail.com so that we can proceed. Then we go to the option, which is owner. This shows that is it a corporate device or a personal device. So if it is a corporate device, that means that it's the company who owns the device. You can either choose to say, okay, this is a corporate device. Then your device group can actually select which device group this device belongs to. So you can say, oh, okay, this is a finance group. So you can just go next. So you have this option here. This is enroll with a tax bundle. You can just enroll directly this device with a tax bundle, or you can say enroll Sophos container with tax bundle. As I said earlier, tax bundle is just like a series of steps that you want to take after post deployment. Maybe you just want to have different things on the to push to the device. You don't want to start doing them one after the other. You can use a tax bundle. Just enroll the device and use a tax bundle. You can say you want to enroll Sophos container with tax bundle. That means that it will place like a secure Sophos container on the device and then also apply a tax bundle to it. You can say you want to enroll Sophos container with policy. That means that you want to enroll Sophos container and then apply a policy directly. So we'll go with Sophos container and policy. So here you can see there's a policy selected, one of the policy, just one policy that I've created. So you can go next. So wait for it to just load, it just takes a few minutes. Okay, so here you now have the final step of adding the device to Sophos mobile management console. So we have here you can actually choose to maybe send this email directly. If you send this email directly, that means it will send the email, the steps that the user is going to take directly to the user inbox. So the users can follow the remaining step and prompt to complete the enrollment. So you can also tell the user to maybe install the Sophos Mobile Control app on their mobile device, and then they will scan this code right here. Or you can, after downloading the Sophos Mobile Control app, you can give them this enrollment token, the server URL, the email address, for them to be able to input. That's if the user is probably remote, when you don't want to make use of the enrollment link. So you can just send them this enrollment token, the server URL, the email address. So after sending them all this, the users can then just put this on the device. That's the Sophos Mobile Control application after they've installed it. So this will ultimately lead them to lead the device to be enrolled directly on the Sophos mobile dashboard. Yeah. So once the device has already completed all the steps there, you are going to see here the device will be managed. Here will show you manage, and then the compliance policy will actually be set there. So that is just how to add the device directly. So let's look at the policies also. So we can say let's create policy. So we have different policies that we can create, but we'll just create the first one, which is the Android Enterprise Device Policy. So this is used for Android deployment mode if you have Android deployment in your organization. So we can just give the policy a name. We can just say web call. So you can, this version here is just the version of the policy here. So maybe once you create the policy and then you make a change, for each change the version count will increase. That's after creating the policy, then you make a change, maybe add a configuration or something. This version count will actually keep increasing to reflect the amount of change that you have made. So for here, you add a configuration. So in this policy, what do you want to do with this policy? Okay, you can say a password policy. We are trying to create a password policy. So this policy, which policy? So that means that in this password policy, you are trying to enforce your device to say, oh, this device must use maybe a pattern or a pin or a password. So here we can say we want the device to use maybe a pattern or a pin or a password. Then we apply it. So you can see that it is already applied on this policy. This means that the device must actually use a password with this policy that we've just created here. So you can just click and then say save the policy. So once the policy is saved, you have the policy right here on the dashboard here. So for this, you can just say you want to assign this policy directly to a user. So once you assign this policy, click assign policy, you select the device group. So you set which device group you want to apply this policy to. Remember that when we are trying to add the user, we have to call the group that the user is. So this group is what we are going to have to select here now. So we have to say, okay, let's choose the sales department group, and we'll finish. So the policy is going to be assigned to sales department group. So as I said, once you come to device here, you will see which device is actually being assigned to each group. So once you create your policies here, create the policy like this web pool, we can actually edit it to say, okay, we want to look at this configuration here. After doing everything, you go back here, then you come here, then you say assign this policy. Once you assign this policy, you select your device group. Select which device group. Okay, the device that we just added is in the finance department group, and you can just finish up your configuration. So once you come here, this is the device here. Device is in the finance department here. This is it here. So you click the policies here. So you can see that the policy here, this policy is already being attached to this user. So it's attached to the user, and then this policy is going to be sent to this mobile device instantly. So once it's sent to this mobile device instantly, this policy is going to force the mobile phone to use a password or a PIN or any of these authentication methods to secure the phone. So this is one way of securing your mobile phone by actually pushing policies through Sophos Central. Like I have apps here. Let's maybe push and try to create an app group and then use it in the policy also. So go to an app here. You have your app here. So maybe you have an app that you want to actually maybe push to a user or something, or you want to actually manage the app using your Sophos mobile policy. There are different ways to actually manage application using the policy. So here you can just say open your Google Play. So you have to select which app you want in your Play Store. So for example, you might say a user, you have a Gmail here, you can approve the app and you keep approved here. So you can say keep approved when the application requests new permissions, or you can revoke application approval when this application requests new permission, or you should always keep the app permission approved. So you click done here. So it's going to take a while. So after doing this, you can just retrieve the list there. So once you retrieve the list here, it's going to take a while before it actually populates or bring up the app here on your Sophos mobile dashboard here. So it's just going to take a while. So from here, you can create an application group. So you click on application group, then create an application group here. So for application group here, you can just say webinar application. So once you create this group here, you can choose to add applications. So these are the default ones there that comes with Sophos Mobile. These are Sophos Authenticator, Sophos Intercept X for mobile, Sophos Mobile Control, Sophos Secure Email, and then Sophos Secure Workspace. These are the defaults, but for the purpose of this webinar, let's select any connect here. So you can say add any connect to the group here. If you have maybe any other applications that you want to add to this application group, and say okay, add Adobe Acrobat to this. So you can add. So you have two applications here. So you can just save those changes there. So we'll go back to the policies. The policy that we created here. So we created a webhook policy. So we edit this webhook policy. So we can just say, oh, we want to add a new configuration. So we want to do like an app control or something. So here you can define app which are not allowed to start. So once you've created your application group, you can now call your application group here. So this will not allow those applications to start. So you can do this for maybe unproductive applications. You can just do this if you don't want the users to have access to some of these applications which you deem as unproductive in your environment. So once you click, you can just do this and then you can apply this. So this will give you the app control on the policy here. You can also do something else. You can go to your app protection. So this one will give you you can define the password that is required for this app to start. So you have already created an application group also. Maybe you have to select your complexity. That's maybe you want a 6-digit PIN or a 6-digit character. This is the number and this is the alphabet. So maybe you can say a 6-digit PIN. I want a 6-digit PIN and a grace period of 5 minutes for this application before they put this PIN. So you can now select which group of the application. So this will allow the user or force the user to put a password on the application and then also allow them to authenticate before using the application in this application group. So this is what it will give. So once they can also choose to maybe a fingerprint authentication to maybe unlock the app before using it. So you can just, and then you can just apply this here. So after doing this, you can save this application, you can save this policy. So the policy is saved, and then it's going to be synchronized to your users. So here, as I said earlier, this is just documents. So once these documents, once you click the add documents, you can always choose to add any documents that you want here. You put the name of the document, click if you want to share the document, if you click if you want to the users to be able to use the document when they are offline, or you want them to be able to use the document only when they are online. So you click the group that you want to push this document to. You select the type, the name of the groups there. Then you can select the group. Then you can upload which document you want to send to them and save. So once you do that, your document will come here. So when your document is here, your document will be pushed to all the users that you've selected. That's bearing in mind that these are the users that you've selected their groups. So all the users assigned to this group will automatically be able to use this document. As I said earlier, this document be encrypted. These documents will be encrypted, and then you would not be able to take screenshots of this document right from the container. We have that. So let me take us through the compliance policy also. So for the compliance policy, you can choose to create a compliance policy. You can use the default template, or you can use the PCI template. If there's a strict compliance you want your users to meet, or the APAC template. But for the sake of this webinar, let's just use the PCI template. So we have the name here, which edits the name of the compliance policy. So we can say web compliance policy. So these are all the settings that you have on this compliance policy here. And then if the rule is violated, the actions that you want Sophos Mobile to take. For example, you can say that the minimum version for the phone or the OS version should be maybe Android 5.0 or less or something. So you can choose to maybe say, oh, if this phone is not up to Android 5.0, maybe lock the container that has been deployed on this phone, or maybe create an alert, or you can even choose to maybe transfer a tax bundle. Once you choose to transfer a tax bundle, you can say, oh, okay, if this OS version is not up to 5.0, don't or maybe uninstall this application. I don't want this mobile phone to use this application because of vulnerability attached to this application in this particular version of the OS. So, okay, there are also other settings here. Maybe malware applications are allowed. This settings is no. So if it is violated, that means that if there are malware applications, that means that it should lock the container. So it will lock the container and then create an alert for you as an administrator. So you also have different other settings there, like potential unwanted applications. You want them allowed also. Know what's the rule against it. Lock the container. That's Sophos container on the mobile phone. Lock the container so that the container is nobody is going to have access to the container, and also create an alert. So once we choose this template, you can also see there's also the root access. Do you want root access alert? That means that probably there's a routing on on an Android device. So you can say no. So if the phone is rooted, just lock the application and then create an alert. So these are all compliance policy that's going to be checked against the mobile device where you are actually attaching this compliance policy to. So for the sake, we just go with save. So after we've done all our settings, we just go with save. So once we've done save, we have the policy here. So the next thing is your device group. So we come to your device group here. You can now create your device group or call this compliance policy on any of these device group here. Okay, let's say for example now the finance department group. You can say edit this finance department group. So this is the finance department group. This is the compliance policy. So you can say for corporate devices that is in finance department group, I want to use this policy. This is the policy that we've created here for this compliance department group, such that all the devices that are in this finance department group, they are going to be checked against this compliance policy that was created to determine if they are compliant with the policy that you set for your organization as an administrator. So if they are not compliant, that is when we can now say, oh, you want to maybe remotely wipe the device, you want to maybe lock the container, you want to maybe uninstall some set of applications on the device, and then maybe when they are now compliant again, maybe when the phone is no longer rooted, you can now push those applications back to the phone so that the users can actually make use of these compliance policies, or these phones rather, so you can just save. So the compliance policy has been attached to the group, and remember, the groups are attached to each of your devices that you add to Sophos mobile control. This will ultimately be checked. The compliance will be checked against all these devices, and then if it is not compliant with any of the policies that you set, you can see there's going to be like a sign for you, and then any of the tax bundle you want to run on it, you can actually choose to push any of those tax bundle from the compliance policy that you set. If you want to, you can then choose any of the compliance, push any tax bundle. Okay, thank you. That's all for today. I believe we spent a couple of minutes past the specified time for this webinar. Thank you. Ife, over to you. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you very much, Ahmed. It was well worth it. It was well worth it. Thank you very much for the time. We've been able to see how Sophos Mobile as a device helps iOS, Android, Windows, macOS, Chrome OS configure and manage their inventory reporting and every of those, and how it can even manage apps in removing, viewing, and the enterprise app store feature as well, and how you can whitelist or blacklist mobile applications. I mean, it's been very interesting, looking at the security aspect of it as well, deep learning, malware protection, web protection, anti-phishing with link protection inclusive. I mean, Wi-Fi security, compliance and rules remediation. I mean, this is something that is really interesting. Thank you very much, Ahmed. It was a time well worth it. Thank you very much for the time. And we are already closing up on the question and answer session. So if there's any question you have, you can begin to ask your questions now. I believe that Ahmed has done a good justice to the subject, and well, it's an introduction, like he said, and so I want to believe we should have questions, some questions we could just attend to. If you have any of them, you could begin to ask your questions now. I'm looking through the chat window now to check as well if there were any being posted there. So if you have as well, you can take advantage of the chat window and then post your questions there as well. Okay, so it's coming out as no questions for now. Well, I mean, that's a kudos to you. You did a very great job with the introduction. Thank you very much. And I would just like to briefly repeat some of the things that I had said earlier. I mentioned about following our YouTube channel, subscribing to all of our channel on YouTube, and you get to access a lot of free content, free resource on our tech security webinar series for your consumption. And so just about the right time, you would find on the chat window that the link to the evaluation form has been posted already. Kindly help us fill that form as well. And then you'd also find the link to all of our social media platforms for you to follow us on social media, and then also participate and engage with our content as well. I'm very certain that if you follow up on our social, okay, you'll find the link to the YouTube channel posted there. You find the link to the YouTube channel posted there. And you find out that if you follow us on all our social media platforms, you would see that every of our webinars are usually being posted online. Webinars are usually free, and you can get to take advantage of these sessions to update yourself on recent security tools, and just refresh your mind on how to keep staying alert and staying abreast of security challenges that might want to breach your organizations or your employees, as it were. So thank you very much for the time once again, and you will see the link to the YouTube, our social media page on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, and okay, yeah, that's about it. LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And just take advantage of the YouTube platform. I mean, it's a huge resource. I mean, we have months of series of Tuesday's webinar topics lying on there. It's a huge resource, and you would want to definitely take advantage of that. So once again, I say thank you very much for the time. Thank you, Ahmed, for a wonderful session. Thank you, Michael, for providing us with the resources we need to get a better experience of this webinar through the chat window. And thank you everyone for joining. It's a beautiful evening, and I trust that we are going to be having even much more than what we just had this evening. Thank you very much once again. And then till Upper Tuesday, stay blessed. Bye, everyone.